Welcome to Max with RP. I hope you are enjoying this time as much as I do. Today we are going to learn about direction ratios and direction cosines in the topic on vectors. Let me consider three mutually perpendicular axes. And let P be a point A, B, C. Then OP vector, as you know, is AI plus BJ plus CK. Now this ratio A, B and C, the ratio of A, B and C, we write it as comma, but what we actually mean is A is to B is to C, are called as the direction ratios, are called as direction ratios of OP vector, which is also called as R vector. So we are looking at three mutually perpendicular axes, OX, OY and OZ. Let I be a unit vector along OX, let J be a unit vector along OY and K be a unit vector along OZ. Okay, now any point with respect to these three axes can be written as A, B and C. So let us consider one such point P. Now what will be OP vector? OP vector will be AI plus BJ plus CK. The ratio of A is to B is to C, or the ratio A comma B comma C is called as the direction ratios of OP vector. Now let alpha, beta, gamma be the angles made by OP vector with the directions of with x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So alpha, beta, gamma are the angles made by OP vector with the directions of I, J and K. These angles are called direction angles. They are called direction angles. Now, what will be cos alpha? We are going to find cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. They are called as direction cosines. So before we compute all this, see, we have already seen the triangle law. We have also seen the parallelogram law. So we know what we mean by addition of two vectors. We also know what we mean by scalar multiplication of a vector. So what about product? So we will be actually talking about two types of products. One called the dot product, the other called the cross product. So we are going to define two types of products. One which is a scalar, which is whose outcome will be a scalar. The other where the outcome is going to be a vector. The product whose outcome is a scalar is called as a dot product or scalar product. So A dot B, because it's called dot product because we use a symbol A dot B. A dot B is defined as AB cos theta. So suppose you have two vectors, A vector and B vector, and let the angle be theta from A to B, because we are talking about direction here. I am also showing you the direction of theta. Okay. Then A dot B is defined as AB cos theta. Are you able to follow? What are A and B? A is magnitude of A vector, B is magnitude of B vector. So the dot product, called as dot product or scalar product, is called dot product because we use the symbol dot. It's called scalar product because the output, as you know, this is the length of A, this is the length of B, and this is cos theta. Therefore, the output is going to be a scalar quantity. Because of that, it is called the dot product or scalar product. Dot product or scalar product. Okay, so now we have taken alpha, beta, gamma to be the angles made by OP vector with x, y and z direction. So what will be cos alpha? So even before we do this sum, we have to understand what is cos alpha. Now what is cos alpha? You know, if A dot B is AB cos theta, then cos theta equal to A dot B by AB, where A and B are the length of the vectors A and B or the magnitude of the vectors A and B. Now, what is alpha? Alpha is the angle made by OP vector with I, with the direction of I. Let me go back to my earlier slide. So this is my OP vector. Now the angle made by OP vector with I direction is called alpha. Now we are looking at cos alpha. So cos alpha will be, cos theta by definition I have shown you is A dot B by AB. Here alpha is the angle made by OP with I direction. So cos alpha will be OP vector dot I cap by modulus of OP vector into modulus of I cap. Now what is OP vector? We have taken it to be AI plus BJ plus CK dot I divided by modulus of OP vector. What will be the length of OP vector? Root of A square plus B square plus C square. The length of I vector is 1 because it's a unit vector. Now, when we take the dot product, now what will be I dot I? As you know, I, J, K are all perpendicular vectors. Now, A dot B is AB cos theta. So, if A vector is perpendicular to B vector, theta will be 90 degrees and cos theta is therefore 0, which implies A dot B is 0. So, if two, very important point, when two vectors are perpendicular, the dot product is 0. So, we should note this. Okay. Now, cos alpha is AI plus BJ plus CK dot I. So, now IJK, you know, let me go again to the earlier slide. IJK are three mutually perpendicular axes, right? So, I dot J equal to J dot K equal to K dot I. They are all mutually perpendicular. Therefore, they will be 0. Now, what will be I dot I? I dot I is, you know, by definition of dot product. Again, I will recall the dot product. A dot B is AB cos theta. A is 1, B is also 1 here. Angle between I and I is 0. So, cos 0 is 1. So, I dot Y is 1. Similarly, J dot J is 1. K dot K is also 1. I hope you understand why. By the definition of dot product, A dot B is AB cos theta. So, I dot I will be the length of I, which is 1. Length of, here B is also I. So, 1 into cos 0 is 1. Same argument for J dot J and K dot K. So, now when I take the dot product, what will I get? I dot I is 1. So, I will get A. But whereas all the other terms will become 0 because J dot I is 0, K dot I is 0. So it will be a by root of a square plus b square plus c square. Similarly, cos beta will be OP vector dot j vector by modulus of OP vector into modulus of j vector, which will be b by root of a square plus b square plus c square. Cos gamma will be, where gamma is the angle made by OP vector with the z direction, or therefore the angle made with k vector. So cos gamma will be c by root of a square plus b square plus c square. So cos alpha is what? A by root of a square plus b square plus c square. This is the length of r vector. Cos beta is b by root of a square plus b square plus c square. Cos gamma is c by root of a square plus b square plus c square. Let me call cos alpha as L, cos beta as M, and cos gamma as N. Now, what will be L square plus M square plus N square? L square plus M square plus N square will be a square by when I square it, a square plus b square plus c square. So the denominator is the same. So when I add, I will get so this is again a very important property. L, M, N are called direction cosines, and L square plus M square plus N square is always equal to 1. So I hope you have understood what is dot product and how to find direction cosines. Direction cosines are the cosines of the angles made by OP vector. What is OP vector? OP vector with the directions of I, J and K. An angle between any two vectors, you know, from the definition of A dot B, which is AB cos theta, you can find cos theta as A dot B by AB. So you can find the angle between any two vectors. Now we have observed that L square plus M square plus N square is 1. Now let us try to find that, do this problem. Direction cosines of the vectors joining 2 points directed from A to B. For this, okay. Now, in the earlier video, we have already done the triangle law, and we have also learnt what is a position vector. So, suppose I have A and B. I join O with A and O with B. OA be A vector and OB be B vector, then what will be AB vector? Now, A vector plus AB vector will be equal to what by triangle law? OA vector plus AB vector will be same as OB vector, which is B vector. So, AB vector will be B vector minus A vector. Very important result, because we are talking about position vectors. So O is a reference point. OA vector is A vector. OB vector is B vector. I want to write down then what is AB vector. What is AB vector? If the position vectors of A and B are A vector and B vector. Now A vector plus AB vector equal to OB vector, which is B vector. Therefore, AB vector equal to OB, what will you get? B vector minus A vector. OB vector minus OA vector, hence B vector minus A vector. So, this is again very important point to be noted. Now, let's come to the given problem. Find the direction cosines of the vector joining A and B, directed from A to B. So, these are vertices. So, what will be the position vectors? OA vector will be I minus 2j plus 3k. What will be OB vector? OB vector will be minus I minus 2j plus k. So what will be directed from A to B? So AB vector will be what? OB vector minus OA vector, right? You have seen here AB vector is B vector minus A vector, OB vector minus OA vector. So this minus this. So minus 2I minus 2j plus 2j is 0 plus k minus 3k minus 2k. This is AB vector. Okay. Now, what is it asked? Find the direction cosines. What will be the direction cosines? Cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are called direction cosines. What are they? A by root of a square plus b square plus c square, b by root of a square plus b square plus c square, c by root of a square plus b square plus c square, where root of a square plus b square plus c square is the magnitude of OP vector. So here the direction cosines will be minus 2 by root of 2 square plus 2 square, 4 plus 4, which is minus 2 by root 8, 2 root 2. M does not exist. So n will be minus 2 by again root of 4 plus 4, which is minus 2 by 2 root 2. But what else is given? Anything else? No. So you are just asked to find the direction cosines of the vector joining A and B directed from A to B. So AB vector. AB vector is OB vector minus is B vector minus A vector. Is B vector minus A vector. OA vector is A vector. OB vector is B vector. So B vector minus A vector is minus 2I minus 2k, and the direction cosines are L equal to minus 2 by root of 2 square plus 2 square. Now for this is L, M does not, M is 0, N will be minus 2 by root of 4 plus 4. So minus 2 by root 8. So these are the direction cosines L, M and N. Now you have to find a vector of magnitude 6 root 2. Okay, we need a vector of magnitude 6 root 2. Okay, making an angle pi by 4 with x-axis, pi by 2 with y-axis, and an acute angle with z-axis. So, since we know the angles, can we find L, M and N? L will be cos alpha, which will be cos pi by 4, which is 1 by root 2. M will be cos beta, which is what? Cos pi by 2. It makes angle pi by 2 with y-axis, which is 0. How do you find N? You know the fact L square plus M square plus N square is 1. Therefore, 1 by 2 plus 0 plus N square equal to 1, or N square is half. N equal to plus or minus 1 by root 2. But it is also given it makes an acute angle with the z-axis. Therefore, N is only 1 by root 2. Because it makes an acute angle. Because of the acute angle condition which is given. Okay. So now we have found L, M and N. We have found the direction cosines. Now any vector you take, okay, R vector is some AI plus BJ plus CK. Now if I take the modulus and divide by modulus, if I multiply by modulus, I have to also divide by modulus. So this is modulus of R vector into Li plus Mj plus Nk. I have divided and multiplied every term by the length of the vector, and I also identified A by modulus of R vector is L, this is M and this is N. Okay. So any vector can be written as its length into Li plus Mj plus Nk, where L, M, N are direction cosines. Have we found what is L? Yes. Have we found what is M? Yes. Have we found what is N? Yes. And do we know what is modulus of R vector? Yes. So, R vector equal to 6 root 2 into Li. What is Li? 1 by root 2 I. M is 0 and N is again plus 1 by root 2 K. So, this gives you 6I plus 6K. So, this is your R vector. So, we have learned that important property which connects all the direction cosines, namely L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1. So, once we know two direction cosines, we can find the third because of this property L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1. And any vector can be written as A plus Bj plus Ck, which is same as modulus of R vector into Li plus Mj plus Nk, where L, M, N or direction cosines. Now look at this problem. A vector R vector is inclined at equal angles to the three axes. Modulus of R vector is 2 root 3. You have to find what is R vector. Now alpha equal to beta equal to gamma. So which means what? Cos alpha equal to cos beta equal to cos gamma, which means L equal to M equal to N. But we know that L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1, or 3L square equal to 1, because L is equal to M equal to N. So L square equal to 1 by 3 or L equal to plus or minus 1 by root 3. So we now know what is L, M, N, and we also know modulus of R vector. So now we also saw any vector R vector is modulus of R vector into Li plus Mj plus Nk. Now what is modulus of R vector? 2 root 3. What is Li? Plus or minus 1 by root 3 I plus or minus 1 by root 3 j plus or minus 1 by root 3 k, as L equal to M equal to N. So this is, the root 3 gets cancelled, plus or minus 2I plus, what will you get? 2j, okay, plus 2k. In fact, I can write it as plus or minus 2I plus or minus 2j plus or minus 2k. This is our R vector. So if a vector is equally inclined, L is M, alpha, beta, gamma are equal, and therefore L will also be equal to M, will be equal to N, and using the property you can find the value of alpha, cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Now, a vector R vector has magnitude 14 units. The direction ratios are given. You must understand that they are, if the direction ratios are given, it is only a ratio. So, the actual value can be a multiple of that. So, the direction ratios are 2, 3, minus 6. So, what is the first thing you have to find? Direction cosines. So, L will be 2 by root of 4 plus 9 plus 36, which will be 2 by 7. What will be M? 3 by 7. What will be N? minus 6 by 7. So these are the direction cosines. You have to find the components of r vector given that it makes an acute angle with x-axis. You know r vector equal to modulus of r vector into Li plus Mj plus Nk. Now what is modulus of r vector? It is given as 14. Now what will be L? 2 by 7. And what will be Mj? 3 by 7 j plus minus 6 by 7. Okay. Now 7 gets divided, goes in 14 two times, so therefore you will be left with 4i plus 6j minus 12k. So this is your r vector. I hope it is clear for you. So this is, we are just trying to understand what are direction ratios and direction cosines. Now you are given two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. So find unit vectors along the diagonals. So actually two things we learned today. One is of course the direction ratios and direction cosines. The other also has AB vector is equal to B vector minus A vector. The position vector of B minus position vector of A. We also learned yesterday the triangle law, right? So whenever you have two vectors like this, A vector and B vector, this is A plus B vector, going from A to B. So the sum of two vectors always starts from the starting point of the first vector, ends with the terminal point of the second vector. So now, based on this triangle law, we are going to do a problem. So two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are given and you have to find unit vectors along the diagonals. So let me draw a parallelogram. I hope it looks like a parallelogram. Okay, now let me draw one diagonal and the other diagonal. Let this AB vector be A vector and BC be B vector. So what will be AC vector? Now AC vector will be A vector plus B vector because it is AB vector plus BC vector. This is what is triangle law. So we have found one diagonal which is A vector plus B vector. So now you are given two adjacent sides. So let A vector be 2i minus 4j plus k and B vector be 4i plus j minus 3k. Right? Now what will be A plus B vector? This will be, add the two vectors, you will get 6i, then minus 3j, minus 3k plus k will give you minus 2k. So this is AC vector. But they have asked you to find a unit vector along the diagonal. So unit vector, which will, let me call it as n1 cap. N1 cap will be what? AC vector by modulus of AC vector. In the earlier video also we have discussed unit vector is given by the vector divided by its magnitude. So AC vector is 6i minus 3j minus 2k divided by root of 36 plus 9 plus 4. This is 6i minus 3j minus 2k by 7. So we have found one diagonal, but there is another diagonal. So let me direct B to D. Now what will be BD vector? BD vector will be BA vector plus AD vector. Now AB vector is A vector. So BA vector will be minus A vector. And what will be AD vector? AD vector is parallel to BC vector. So and they are in the same direction. So this will be B. Minus A plus B or B minus A. What will be B minus A vector? 4I minus 2I, which will be 2I. J minus of minus 4J, so plus 5J. Minus 3K minus K minus 4. This is BD, the other diagonal. Diagonal 1. This is diagonal 2. BD vector is BA vector plus AD vector. BA vector is minus A vector because we have taken AB to be, B vector. AB to be A vector. Now BC vector and BD vector are both B vectors. So this is also B vector. So if I want to write BD vector by triangle law or go from B to D, I can go through BA vector plus AD vector, right? So that will be minus A vector plus B vector, which is B minus A, which is 2I plus 5J minus 4K. We want to find a unit vector along BD vector. So BD vector, which we will call as N2 vector. N2 vector will be BD vector by modulus of BD vector, which is 2I plus 5J minus 4K divided by root of 4 plus 25 plus 16. So N2 vector will be 2I plus 5J minus 4K by root of 29, 25 plus 4, 29, 39, 45. Root 45. Is it clear? So now we have found both the diagonals and we have also found unit vectors along both the diagonals. One is this, the other is this. I hope you enjoyed learning about direction ratios and direction cosines today, and also about how to use the addition law of addition to solve problems. Looking forward to working out more and more problems with you, and I hope you enjoyed the session. If you did, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'm looking forward to more and more episodes of Max with RP. Until next time, goodbye.